Nurses work long hours at jobs that demand a high level of responsibility. Many nurses work rotating shifts, increasing their stress while decreasing their sleep and energy. According to the article, The Effects of Exercise on Stress in Working Women by Coulter, Dickman, and Manadig in 2009, when you add to this the stressors or the responsibilities of managing a family and a household, the increased demand can lead to chronic stress, depression, among other negative feelings. Personally, I'm a mother of 4 children. They range from 6 to 17. I've only been a nurse for just over a year and a half now. Last winter, within my first year of nursing, I work on a very busy medical cardiology floor. I was learning everything they don't teach you in nursing school, which is a vast amount of information. I was chronically exhausted. I was angry all the time. I was gaining weight exponentially, and I started to acquire physical symptoms that led me to my doctor's office. I was sure I had AFib, coronary artery disease, or some other life-threatening ailment. And to my surprise, I had unmanaged stress. She did not order me a stress test. She told me to get outside and walk every day, take some vitamin D, because here in New England we don't get a lot of that, and to find a way to manage my stress, and to try and reduce it. Well, how do you do that? I can't quit my job, I can't give my kids away, and I can't afford the help I need, like a chef or a personal assistant or housekeeper or a nanny. So I had to find a way to take care of my stress and take care of me. Research suggests that shift working nurses that adopt a consistent exercise routine and healthy eating habits can help alleviate stress brought about by the profession that they work in, a profession that presents a higher susceptibility to stress and burnout, because ultimately unmanaged stress or chronic stress can lead to greater health risks or disease. Today I'd like to talk about how both the nursing profession and shift work make one more susceptible to stress, but when you add the responsibilities of a household or a family, you increase that stress level more. And then simply how regular exercise can alleviate the effects of chronic stress, thus alleviating the proven link to disease. In my first point, the stress brought on by managing multiple roles, a nurse, a shift working nurse, and a mother. In the article by Coulter et al. In 2009, they mention how working women, and in this context we're talking about nurses, they have great responsibility at work, and they work long hours. Both of those can contribute to higher stress levels. The article continues on about how the stress of nurses who hold multiple roles as a wife, mother, employee can be magnified by the added responsibilities of managing a family and a house. They talk about second shift phenomenon, a term that describes the responsibilities that awaits a wife or mother at home when her work day is over. You just don't get to come home and go to bed, unfortunately. So nursing is a 24-hour profession, so it's not uncommon for many nurses to have rotating day-night schedules. In the article, The Impact of Shift Work on Critical Care Nurses by Price in 2016, they talk about how shift work plays a huge role in stress production. You're working long hours, you're sleep deprived, you're not eating well, and you don't get as much physical exercise. And it talks about how stress is an essential link between shift work and disease. The same article talks about how shift work disrupts family life and family schedules. And in the article, psychosocial and physiological risks of shift work on nurses, Leva, Vela et al. Talk about how shift work also results in less time with your family and difficulty in resolving family conflicts. So there's a lot of stress that is incorporated with this profession, especially if you're a shift worker, especially if you have a family or a household to manage. My second point I'd like to make is just on regular exercise and the benefits it has in alleviating stress, thus alleviating disease later on. In the article by Leva, Vela et al., they make a point to point out how in nursing school we all learn health promotion and behaviors for our patients and how to teach them to take care of themselves, yet we seem to neglect ourselves when it comes to practicing it on us. Coulter et al. Talk about how regular daily exercise is essential in alleviating stress and the risk of disease brought on by chronic stress. They also talk about how women should engage in moderate physical activity for at least 30 minutes a day. As you imagine, in a profession as busy as this with a family, there are many barriers to regular daily exercise. Some of the big ones are time and energy, as mentioned by Coulter et al. So we further understand why shift working mothers lack in self-care activities. The article continues on to talk about how women tend to be motivated by structured programs or encouragement, and how many employers offer incentive programs. Personally, my employer has partnered with an app called Virgin Pulse. You link it with your Fitbit. You check in on daily activities, your steps. Ultimately, you earn money for taking care of yourself. It's a great motivator. And this article by Coulter et al. Talks about how important it is to find a way to overcome these barriers and excuses, and make time to take care of yourself, how exercise is crucial to relieving your stress and ultimately helping you perform at a more optimal level in all areas of your life. A quick visual for you is just, I found this stress on the internet. I did reference it in my citations if you would like to see it yourself. It's just a brain and the word stress and all of the things associated with stress: insecurity, depression, accidents, triggers, anxiety. There's so much that your body deals with under chronic stress. So it's important to understand how both the nursing profession and shift work make one more susceptible to this chronic stress and other health risks. And when you add, the responsibilities of a house, it's even worse. And how important regular exercise is in managing that stress. So in conclusion, stress management is important for the health and well-being of the shift working nurse, who also carries the role of managing a house. Prioritizing is a big thing. Prioritizing 30 minutes of regular exercise is known to help relieve stress and ward off related diseases. Improves your physical and mental health and boosts your overall well-being, thus allowing the participant to function at a more optimal level at home and at work. And I will conclude today in finding what works for you with this little I don't know if you can see it. There we go. You can't read it very well, but it says, "It's not easy fitting 60 minutes of exercise into my busy schedule. Today, I took 360 10-second walks." So in reality, find what works for you, but get moving. Thank you.